This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, Sahan. We'll wait for a few more minutes for the other participant to join.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's start our session. Am I
Yeah,
addressing your name properly?
yeah.
How do you want me to address you?
Sahan. Sahan is good.
Okay, hi again. I'm Selvi. I'll be your instructor for this full stack developer program. And I hope you have received the Java content, the course content. Do you have that?
Actually, I didn't.
Okay, I'll share it.
Okay.
Is my voice audible to you?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Can you please introduce yourself so that I'll get some background about you?
Okay. I'm doing my master's in Arizona State University. I've just joined this in the last fall, like in 2021. Uh, it's been an year now, and yeah, that's it. I've done my bachelor's in Gokraj Rangraju, that's in Telangana, and I'm doing my master's in software engineering.
Okay, what's your expectation as part of this program?
I'm just trying to learn how the corporate world works and know how to do projects when I just join the job. I would like to do without any assistance after I don't join the job.
Okay, so basically you're working towards your clearing your interview, and after clearing the interview, you want to work independently without anyone's assistance. Is my understanding correct?
Mm. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
So I hope you can see my screen. This is
Yeah,
the
I do.
overall content. So
Hmm.
here we have different blocks. The very first block is your core Java. So we will be covering complete core Java with the Java 8 features also, which is
Mm-hmm.
mentioned here. Okay, and
Okay.
following that, the main thing is what are all the course content we are sharing. It's mainly intended to prepare you for the interview. So we will be sharing, it's not only a theoretical thing, you will have more of lab sessions also, so that you will have
Okay.
hands-on experience. You will come to know, like you will work like a developer here, like you will do the development along with the training session. So end of the
Mm-hmm.
training session, as you expected, you can do the development by yourself without anyone assistant. It's not only development, we are concentrating on the debugging phases also. If there are any
Okay.
issue come across, that also we will give the tips and tricks to solve the problem. So the very first thing is Java. After that, we will be covering the Spring Boot framework. So development of Spring Boot based aspects and all we will be covering. Then we will be covering web services concept.
Okay.
So nowadays we are doing all web developments, right? So we will be covering the web services. Along with that, we will be covering the microservices. So all the
Mm.
cloud technologies nowadays in IT market, they're concentrating more on the microservices architecture more than a monolithic architecture. So that we will be covering. So maybe some of the terms which I'm using will be new to you. Just for introduction, I'm using the term, but when I get into the topic, I will explain you what is monolithic, what is microservices and all. This is just an
Okay.
overview. And next thing is finally, so what and all we have discussed so far, what and all I've shown so far, it's your backend development. And Angular is something for the UI development. You know what is UI and backend, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. And so UI means your front-end development aspect. So end of this course program, you will be trained in both aspects, both the
Okay.
UI, that is the front-end and back-end development. And here the
Mm-hmm.
topic part, I have provided only the main categories, but we will be covering as part of the session, we'll be doing the deep dive also. We will be covering the inner layers also. This is high level things, but we will be covering the inner layers where the inside about each and every topics will be covered. Any
Okay.
query, Sahan?
Why are we using Angular? React, is React better or Angular better compared to both?
So you see, each one is unique. If you ask me, I'm in this field for almost 15 years. So for
Okay.
me, I would say each one is unique in different areas. Based
Mm-hmm.
upon the need of the project, the use will differ.
Oh,
Okay, the
okay. Okay.
selection will vary. If you are looking for your organization preference, see again, more than technical things, some organization will go for open sources, budget related aspects. They will see cost effective things. I will go the particular framework. Some organization will feel that though it is a cost effective, I'll go for an enterprise. I'm ready to pay the license cost. So it will vary from one to other, but everything is unique. Everything has its own advantage and disadvantage. So nothing
Mm-hmm.
called which is better and which is good. Everything is same if you ask me personally.
Okay.
Okay. And
Okay.
if you learn again, one more advantage is if you learn any one of the programming language or any one of these UI frameworks, you can
Mm.
easily learn the other one.
Oh, yeah. So,
It's
okay.
not
Everything is similar then.
yes, interlinked. See, the terminologies will be different, but the concept wise, it will be same.
Okay.
I won't say that it's 100% matching, but if you know the any one of programming language, it will be
Okay. The
easy for you
concepts
to
are same,
learn the
but the
subsequent
syntax
ones.
we have to learn it. Okay.
Yes, yes. Do you know any programming language? Any
Yeah, I
basic at
know a
least?
bit Java and Python.
Oh, good.
And I used to do C programming, but I haven't been in touch with it for a long time.
No issues.
But usually I use
Uh,
Java mostly.
it's good, good.
Okay.
So again, I'm
Mm.
saying this will be more of a on-the-job training. I'll be preferring. You like
Okay.
theoretical content, you can see anywhere. Online resources are all available.
Mm-hmm.
Practically, I'll be training you. If you are a developer, if you are joining to a company, what is expected from you? So that level we will start. and we will teach you the basic thing. On top of it, we will make you to think like a developer. So that is how we will train you.
Okay.
Okay, feel free to ask your query at any time. And one thing here is good, C, Java, and Python. There are some
Mhm.
cases you have to unlearn and relearn. Okay, there will be some times it will be a bit confusing if you put everything in the same plate. So
Okay.
sometimes you keep Python aside and concentrate
Mm.
on Java. If you're strong in any one aspect, then you can bring in Python into that. Just
Okay.
a tips from my side. If you know this off and other thing is off and you're merging together, there are some chances you will confuse yourself. Just a tips from my side, but it's good to learn different programming language. It's always good.
Okay. Mhm. Thank you.
So now let's have some introduction. As you already know, we will be touching upon this slightly.
Okay.
Okay. The first thing is, I'm asking you a question. What is Java?
It's basically a programming language where you interact with the computer and try to make some tasks, perform some tasks using the machine.
Good. Yes. So when we ask someone what is Java, they will immediately say Java is a programming language. And
Hmm.
if we ask them what is programming language, there will be a pass. Okay, if you are coming from a computer science background, then you will be knowing what is your programming language and other things. For a
Mm.
people who doesn't know about this, who doesn't know any of this programming language, they will be passed on this particular stage. A programming language is nothing but as a human, we understand, like we talk in a human language, but the machine will understand the machine codes, the binaries. Then this
Yeah.
programming language come into picture where it's a computer language written by our humans to give some task to the computer to perform. Okay, there are
Mhm.
so many programming language available in the market for decades. Currently trending one is Java is one among them. So again, the question
Mhm.
comes, why Java? There are some other programming languages are also available. Why Java is widely used? Why it is popular for a long time? So I have mentioned few of them here. There are so many things available. The quick thing is platform independent. If you take like
Mhm.
platform independence in the sense, you will be using your laptop or your desktop to do your development, which is in Windows operating system, for example, and your organization is running the servers in Linux operating system. It is not mandated that you have to develop your app in Linux operating system to run it in a Linux operating system. You can
Mhm.
write the code anywhere and you can execute anywhere, irrespective of operating system. It can be Linux, Mac, or Windows One. Okay, so there is a
Mhm.
terms also they will use. Write once, use many times. So you can reuse it. The Java code.
Okay.
This, the JVM will take care of that functionality like changing the code and other aspects. But it's like reusable things you can do. Platform independent. It's user friendly. See, it's not intended against the operating system. Means obviously it's a user friendly. And next thing
Okay.
is object oriented language. So if you take the functional or structure oriented language, you may not have the latest options or APIs or libraries available. So traditional, if you ask that other programming language developers, you have to write some bits of code. For example, some date manipulations you are doing, you have to calculate the local date. Means for the other programming language, the previous one, I don't want to name it because that is different. That is also unique in some aspect. But when you
Mhm.
talk about that programming language, you have to write some lines of code to do some uh, date calculation, like getting the current date, printing the date in the EST time zone, and printing the time in the CST time zones. Means you have to write some lines of code to achieve it. But in
Mhm.
Java, you have the inbuilt libraries to perform it, especially on Java 8 and above. this date APIs are developed in such a way that it will make your work easy. That is why we say this is object oriented language. Again, it's all segregated. When you have
Okay.
everything in a single place, it's really tough for you to access it. Because of this
Hmm.
object and structured way, it's easy for you to use the code. Okay. Final thing
Okay.
is multi-threaded language with automatic memory management. So it's a good unique feature, memory management. Again, C programming you learned, right? So you would have learned about pointers, memories and all. So in that
Hmm.
programming language, you will be allocating the memory. Okay, you will specify it and you have to deallocate the memory. There is a concept of dealloc itself in C. So
Okay.
it's like as a developer, as a programmer, you have to take care of the additional activity like allocating the memory and deallocating the memory. But in the
Hmm.
case of Java, it's all automatic. If you are not referencing that or using the particular object, you have a concept called garbage collection. So the
Yeah.
GC will do the memory deallocation process and it will free up the memory. But the other programming, the C programming language, as a developer, you have to take care of the memory allocation and deallocation. And if it is not deallocated properly, you will have a memory problem and server will crash.
Hmm.
And if you think about like Amazon or Flipkart kind of applications used by millions of customers, and if the server crash, you think about the reliability of that application. It's a questionable thing.
Yeah.
So, so we have to reduce the user dependency. So that's why Java always stands as a user-friendly thing. And multi-threaded, again, the same online shopping apps are there, right? Millions of
Yeah.
users will be using, okay, and they will be accessing at the same time, especially on the big billion day or some sales, flash sales and all. Many people will be accessing. In that cases, this multi-threading concept will be really useful. So as many
Okay.
people they want, they can connect and they can do the transaction, similar set of actions they can do, but they will get the response as per the individual users. So that activities can be done using the multi-thread concept. This is also we will cover in detail in one of the session. Any
Okay.
doubts so far, Sahan?
Nothing.
Okay.
Everything is clear.
Next thing is tools installation. So to do the development, as I said, you will be doing regular hands-on. Your lab activities would be there. So this can be done in two ways. Okay. The very first thing is getting the supporting tools. The tools can be, we have so many tools in the market. It can be your Eclipse. It can
Mm-hmm.
be IntelliJ. It can be STS. Okay. For Spring-based things and all, we can go to STS and Visual
Mm-hmm.
Studio. So many tools
Okay.
are available in the market. And in this
Mm.
course, I'll be preferring IntelliJ. So I'll be telling how to download and use it as part of our development. And
Okay.
if you feel that I'm not going to install any of the tool, then there is an option also available, which is called your online editor. Is my screen
Okay.
visible to you?
Yeah, yeah, it
Is
is
my screen?
visible, but the it's not like working. I mean, can you please move
Okay.
the mouse once? Because it's
One
stuck.
minute.
It's stuck
One
in
minute.
one position.
Uh, is it visible?
Yeah, now it's visible.
Okay. Um, First, we will see the tool-based
Now
one.
again, it's stuck. I mean, it's stuck in the same position. Yeah, now I can see it again. It's visible, ma'am. But I don't hear the audio. Can't hear the audio.
Okay, is it okay now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what I was saying is, in this session itself, I'll be telling
Okay,
what is JDK. First, we will download JDK, and I will be showing the editor, that IntelliJ editor. Then I will explain
okay,
what is JDK. Okay, and
okay.
I will explain what is the use of JDK, why it is needed, and who will be using JDK and other things. For now, I am downloading JDK. This is the so in your browser, if you type JDK download, you get an option
Mm-hmm.
like this. This is the official site, like Oracle site. There you can download the latest JDK versions. Again, based upon your operating system, you can pick and choose your related jar file here.
Okay. I already have my IntelliJ and JDK downloaded, but I don't know. You can just start explaining. I mean, how to
Okay,
use IntelliJ and other stuff. I mainly use Eclipse mostly.
okay, good.
Okay,
Then I'll be showing the IntelliJ download path. Okay.
okay.
So
And
JDK, which version of JDK you have it with you now?
let me check. I guess it's 7.
Okay. So you can get the latest version here. Okay, you
Okay,
can get the exe file, and it's simple user friendly steps only. If you are not feeling comfortable with installation, in Oracle site itself they have given the instructions how to install JDK for Windows machine. The troubleshooting steps, everything is visible, so you can
okay.
follow that. Okay.
Hmm.
And next is our
You can explain me about the JDK, ma'am, if you want.
sure, sure, I will do. So once you have the tools downloaded, your IntelliJ tools downloaded, I'll be opening this. So if you are a developer, okay, you
Okay,
are developing your Java program. For that, you need some tools. You need some
mm,
library. That is for development. Once you have developed your application, you will be installing. In technical terms, we say it as deployment. You will be deploying
deployment.
your application in some environment. So the layman
Okay,
perspective is installation. You have created one package. Say for example, I'm giving you a task of calculator program. So you have done the program. You have created a package, and you have compiled the package. It created the .class files. I hope you know what .class file, right? If you are
yeah,
not aware, I'll tell that. Okay.
okay.
So you have created the .class file, and you have used it. 1 minute. So if you are a developer, you need tools, you need your environment. So JDK is nothing but which is the combination of both tools and environment.
Hmm.
There are three terminologies. It will be little bit theoretical. Only one or two slides will be theoretical. Then we'll be jumping onto the real-time examples. So the components of your programming language means these three things they will say. You would have heard about this also previously.
Okay.
JDK, JRE, and JVM. If you are a
Mm.
developer, then you need JDK. JDK is nothing but JRE, the Java runtime environment, the environment where you will be running your program or deploying your program along with some development tools. You will
Okay.
be adding some tools, right? You need some libraries, some files to add some programs. So that is called JDK. Then what is JRE? If you are running an application, someone has already developed it, and they have provided that applications to you to deploy in your machine, then you don't need JDK because you're not going to develop it. You're going to use only the application which is already developed by someone, means you can very well go with JRE. Only the runtime
Okay.
environment is needed for you. So that is how the use will differ. If you are a developer, go with JDK. If you are the user, go with JRE. Then what is this JVM? So JRE is nothing but JVM plus some library. So JVM is
Okay.
nothing but which converts. I told you, right? You have some bytecodes. When you compile a Java .java file, it will create you a .class file that can be
Mm,
installed in any operating system. So I have developed in Windows machine and I have to run it in a Linux machine, means the JVM will come into picture because from CPU to CPU, the machine codes will vary. So JVM
okay.
will execute, JVM will do the conversion so that the corresponding machine where I want to execute the code will understand it. So JVM do the activity, the interpreted activity.
Okay.
Okay. So we will go in the reverse way now. So what is JVM? JVM will do the conversion. JRE
Um,
is nothing but JVM plus some library classes, and JDK is nothing but JRE plus some development tools. It
Development
will
tools.
go,
Okay.
yes, from bottom to top you have to go JVM. Then on top of it you have the category of JRE. Then JRE you have environment you have. So environment plus development tool is your JDK.
Okay.
And Java, they will every year they will publish uh, every at regular interval of time, I can say, they will publish the new versions. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you can see it latest versions, and if there are any issue comes in, they will immediately publish with some patches also. So we'll download the patches and we will use it for our regular programming. This is how
Okay.
we will do. So this one simple diagram. So you will write the source code and you will compile it. Once you have compiled, you will have the dot class file, and that dot class file will be changed to
Mm,
the machine. That again CPU or the operating system wise it will vary. So the JVM will do the Java interpreted activity so that the machine will understand this is the task provided to me and I will be using it.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It's,
Going back to our, okay, I'll cover this also, then we can go. So JRE I've told, JDK. We have four types of Java platform in market now. Based upon the
mm-hmm.
end user, we can pick and choose whichever we want. So
Okay.
we for training and small project developments, we can use a standard
Standard.
edition.
Okay.
Okay, so that will have the basics of your classes, library, supporting jars and all it will have, and you can very well use it for your training purpose. And next
Okay.
thing is your enterprise edition. So if you are
Mm,
considering a large organization, a big organization, there you will be doing n number of projects, then the expectation is different from us. So if you are doing a training, obviously you will be doing your coding in a laptop and you will be executing and you will be seeing. But in the case of a
mm,
big organizations, there will be number of projects. So they expect something called scalability, and it
mm-hmm.
should be available, reliable, and security. They will give more important to it. So by considering all these aspects, the enterprise edition, what they have done is they kept the standard edition. On top of it, they have added the enterprise edition libraries also. The base is standard edition. Additionally, they have provided the supporting libraries for the have a big organization expectation. And third
Okay.
thing is micro edition. This is mainly intended for small device applications. Like if you have to create an app for your mobile, then you can go
Mm-hmm.
for this micro edition. So it will have the libraries which will support for the mobile based development. And
Okay.
last one is Java FX. This is mainly intended for the internet application where you look for some lightweight user friendly APIs and all. Then you can go for these four things. But
Okay.
most of the time we'll be using the standard edition because we'll be doing trainings and learning aspects and all. We can very well go with this the standard edition. When you go to
Okay.
the JDK download in the site also, you can very well choose a standard edition. Other things and all, like you have to pay. So standard edition, there for limited number of versions, you don't need to pay. It's like an open source, still a specific version. So you can very
Okay.
well use it, and you can do the training and lab activities. Okay.
So when I join a company, I will be using the enterprise edition, right? Then
Your
when I join.
company will have a license. You won't be downloading. Your company will
Okay.
have a license. Again, it depends upon the organization. If they see that I'm okay, if you develop with the open source version, I'm okay with that. If they feel that, they will allow you to download by yourself. They will make you to download
Okay.
in
The
Oracle
standard.
site itself. JDK standard edition you can download. There are some
Okay.
company they see that no, for me security is of high priority, so I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
take any risk with the open source libraries. Not only this Java, for any other thing also they will say that I don't want open source. I'm having my own company policies, so I'll be going for the licensed product. Means they will have an enterprise license. They will have the keys with them. So they will have a specific. If a large organization means obviously they will have a specific group of people who is intended to install the record software in your laptop or the machine
Okay.
whichever they have provided. Without their approval, so the basic format is you will be raising a request. They will approve the request for the software. Someone will take control of your machine. They will do the
Mhm.
installation. They won't share the key with you. They will do all the installation, and then they will say that yes, it's okay for you to do use it. This is how the normal format would be.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So again, from organization to organization, the expectation and their policies will vary. Based upon that, the choice also will vary.
Mm. Okay, ma'am.
So coming back to IntelliJ, so once you install the IntelliJ, this is how your home screen will looks like. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so there are so many options available here. We will see. I don't want to dump you everything in the day one itself. Which and all is
Okay.
needed to start now. I'll be telling now. Going forward, when I come across the particular category, I'll be surely pinpointing that area also. So end of the session, we'll be knowing everything. For today's session, I'll be covering these two parts. So
Okay.
first thing, you are creating a new project. This is good in the case like you are doing a training means small projects will be you will be doing, so you can very well go with this new project concept, and
Mm.
you can go with this button. If you're joining an organization, obviously they have a project already created, and
Mm.
they will maintain the code in some repository. Do you know what is repository?
Mm. I just have a light idea about it. That's it.
Okay. Git and all, I hope you would have used it. Git.
Yeah, I use the Git. Yeah, I use the Git repository.
It's good. It's one of the repositories. So what they will do is, you are developing. Sahan is developing some code, and there is one
Okay.
more developer. He is also developing a code. So maintaining a code in individual machine is challenging. So there are some
Mm.
cases both of you will be working in the same file, and there are possibility that you will override the other's change. So what we
Okay.
have done, we have a concept called repository. So you will be developing something. End of the day, you will push your code. We will call it as commit. The technical term is commit for you to
Okay.
understand and saying, okay, you will push your code from your local machine to the Git repository. You will be provided
Mm.
with your own credential. You will push it to the Git repository. And what is happening is you both, like I'll call the other associate as employee two, okay, and you are as employee one. So employee
Mm.
one, employee two, you are coming to office. You are taking a file called main.java from the repository. The traditional thing is you have to take it from repository, the correct process. So you will take
Okay.
from the repository, you have assigned with the task. Both of you are assigned with the task which deals with the same file, main.java. You have added some change, the employee too has added some change. and you have committed prior to the employee 2 means committed means you have pushed the code to repository. You have done it. You
Yeah.
said that I completed my task and I pushed it. So the latest code is available in the repository. But the
Mm,
employee 2, when he try to push, he will get some warning or you will get an error stating that a latest version of code is available because you both are worked on a yesterday's code. Yesterday night
yeah.
someone has committed the code you took today morning, and he
Mm,
will get a warning stating that latest code is available, so you can't push the old version. So what he
okay.
has to do is he has to take your code, and on top of your code he has to add his change.
Okay, okay.
He can
Okay, well,
then
like first come, first serve base. If I add it first, then he should take my then and add his to it.
Yes, it's like
Okay,
a latest version. Always you have to work or commit or on the latest version. There are
okay,
different options are also available. Like you can merge the code. It's not mandated that he have to open the file and he has to rewrite the code. Nothing like that. There is a concept of merge also. So
okay,
they can merge the code wherever he added the change that place alone. You can merge and you can push it also. Again,
okay.
this logic will vary from repository to repository. Okay, source code
Mhm.
management we will be doing. Git will follow different concept. Tortoise SVN, the open source one, will follow different concept. They will have different terminologies also. And
Mhm.
CVC, clear case, so many things for different programming languages. We have different repositories in the market. Git is famous in the market compared to others because most of the online users, they are using the Git, and they are preferring to use Git. So that is how we are doing this. So coming back to
Okay.
our discussion, so you have a repository. So I was talking about this open button, right? So keep
Mm,
the repositories thing as that.
okay,
You have a code. You downloaded the code. It's like a hundreds of class file you have, and you have saved it in your local folder,
okay,
and it's there. You have it in your local directory. So if you
mm,
want to open the project which is already downloaded and kept it in your local, then you can
mm,
go for the open option.
okay.
You can, if you click on it, it will ask you the path where I have the
Mm,
code, and you can very well set the path and you can open, and all the projects, all the class file, the skeleton will be displaying on your left side. That is called
okay,
open. And you have an
okay.
option to get it from Git also. So if you
No,
have a Git, your project was created in a Git and they have provided the details for Git means you can very well set the path. You can
um,
download directly from Git also. That is not recommended in most of the cases because by mistakenly you can do initial stages. If you are doing
okay,
development as a fresher, you can better
mm,
take it to local, do your change, then you can push it to Git. That
okay,
good practice you can do. If you're comfortable with Git, if you're comfortable with IntelliJ and your editor, even in Eclipse you have the concept, so you
mm,
can do it. Okay, so these are the three ways I can create a project. I can create something from the scratch. I can use
okay,
an existing folder from my local directory. I can
mm,
pull the code from the repository. So today I'll
okay,
be showing you that creating something new project we will be creating.
okay, ma'am.
So again, there are different options available.
Mhm.
So the first thing is I'm giving some name to my project. The project
Okay,
should be relevant to your activity. The uh, name of the project you are giving should be relevant to the activity you are doing. Again, a good
okay,
practice is saying if you are doing any development in future, there are concepts like variables and the class names and all you will be giving, right? Don't
mm-hmm.
use any of your personal names in the programming code, that especially when you're doing for a organization level.
Okay,
Please
ma'am.
don't use it. Don't use Sahan, class name as Sahan or variable name as Sahan. That is not
Mm-hmm.
recommended. You have to
Okay,
come up with a class name which is relevant to your activity, so that
mm-hmm.
when somebody comes in after Sahan, somebody is assigned with the task means it should be useful to the other associate in the organization. They
Okay, they
should
should get
not,
a glimpse of the work just by seeing the name of the project. Okay,
yes, yes. And again, when you are defining a variable, maybe for a training perspective, like when you're initializing a variable, you can use I, A, J, some alphabets you can use. But if we can add some relevant names, next time, maybe for sudden also, after 6 months, if you come across that particular code, you should be
Mhm.
able to traverse the code. Meaning
Okay.
that
Okay.
you see the code itself. By debugging, you can very well understand it. That is one of the concepts we'll be learning. But for a user, it's good practice. The coding practice is also to be there as part of your training. Like, this is how you're supposed to code. So when you
Okay.
see it, it should be understandable. From the editor, it won't restrict you. You can have that line, entire piece of code, in a single line also. But when you
Mm.
see it, it should be readable. The next user
Okay.
or even you should be reading it. So I will suggest you go with the relevant names when you are doing any creation of variables, classes, projects, whatever maybe. Go with the relevant names. Don't use any of your personal things in your declarations. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
And next thing is, please don't use keywords. I'll be covering keywords also. Keywords means some
Mhm.
reserved words in Java. Say
Mm.
there is some concept called class. You have concept called static, void, some return types and all will be there. Maybe some of
Yeah.
the names will be new to you. I'll be explaining you, but these are all the reserved words or keywords. You are not supposed to use it for your naming convention. You should
Okay,
go
ma'am.
with the words which is not available in the or not part of the keywords. So now I'm using training, and next thing is Java. So this editor may be supporting a different type of development. We are dealing with Java, so I'm selecting Java. And next thing is this Maven and Gradle. After completing the core Java training, I'll be covering you the Spring Boot concept also. So in Spring
Okay.
Boot, when that comes into picture, then you have to select whether it is a Maven one or Gradle one. So
Okay.
currently it is not needed for core Java. We can leave this without selecting that. We can leave it. And main thing is JDK option. You have to select.
Okay.
So,
The latest
so
version
I
to
have,
be downloaded.
yes, I have downloaded the latest version and I'm using it. So whichever version you have it in your machine, you have to select the corresponding JDK and see. By default in IntelliJ, this checkbox won't have been checked. It's like blank. But
Okay.
for a training purpose, I'm checking it so that it will add me the skeleton to start my program. It will create with
Mm.
the class and the method. So I'm checking it and I'm clicking on the create. Any doubt in the
Okay.
screen?
No doubts, ma'am. Everything is clear.
Okay. And here also there is a checkbox, like whatever you are creating, it will create a structure in the Git repository also. Currently we are not doing. I'm doing everything in my local machine itself.
Okay, ma'am.
That's it. This is how it will look like. This is your project structure. So
Okay.
I have a project called training, and this is the path where I have saved the file. When you go and see, you can see a folder created with the name of training. Okay. So whenever you create a project, so a folder will be created. Previously, you would have created only a Java code. This again I have created. It's your wish.
Okay.
You can come up with your own name, your preferred name, and
Okay.
this is the place. SRC is the place where you can see the source code.
Okay.
I checked
The
the
main class is
checkbox,
present.
so it has created the main class for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The simple code checkbox.
So
Okay.
yes, hello world code. This is common in all programming language. The very first thing what they will say is, let's write one hello world code. So here for
Mhm.
me, the default code itself is available. Okay,
Okay.
so I will tell you the skeleton now.
Mm-hmm.
So here the package is missing, but
Mm.
the anatomy of a Java program means it should contain something like this: home dot some company. Okay, usually
Okay.
again, why I'm writing like this, You should follow the same
Okay.
thing when you get into an organization. Okay.
Okay.
So com is mandate, and the
Mhm.
company name you can give any company.
Okay.
The one where you're working. If you're working in some specific companies like Amazon, Google, or Microsoft, you will be using your company name.
Okay.
So that's how it will be there. So let me have this. The default structure should be like this. The SRC
Okay.
folder will have my source code, and this is
Mhm.
the package. Package again, like you will be grouping everything, all your activity, and finally you are bundling things, and you will create a var that I'll cover. You create a package for you to understand. You will have a package. That package only you will deploy in wherever you want. Install it. You will create one software and you are installing somewhere, right? So similarly,
Mm.
the JDK, they have created one software, and that software I downloaded and installed in my machine. So that we call it
Okay.
as package. So here only I will have all the class files and supporting information I will be having under my package. So this is the
Okay.
skeleton, Sahan,
Mhm.
for
Package, class, and methods. Okay. Done.
yes. So real-time examples, if I want to tell, for example, you are entering one supermarket.
Okay.
That supermarket has n number of things:
Mm.
vegetables, fruits, groceries, ice cream, chocolates, biscuits, so many things which is needed for me, it is there. So here
Mm.
supermarket is equal to a package.
Okay.
So supermarket is nothing but group of items which is needed for my basic needs.
Okay.
Similarly, package is nothing but group of class.
Okay.
Okay, it can
The
be a
different
group of
sections.
class, similar class, or interfaces. Interfaces also I will cover. Today we'll touch upon class. So group of
Okay.
classes or interfaces. With this we will complete a task and we will create a package. And next
Okay.
thing is, so again in the supermarket, you have different varieties I told, right? So let's take an example of you want to eat um, kurkure, one chips you want to eat. So once you
Oh,
enter into supermarket, it's a vast area. Instead of going to each and every section, you will ask the person in the entrance stating that I want chips kurkure where it is there. So that person
okay.
will say that go to section 2 or section 3, uh, rack number 1, some instruction he will give. So obviously they are placed in an organized way. So
Okay.
similarly, you as an organization, they will have n number of tasks. If you take an example of any online shopping, there will be
Mhm.
n number of tasks. You will be viewing a particular material, or say you are using one online shop to buy one dress. So there
Mm.
will be a number of dress varieties will be available. So you will be viewing that particular dresses, and you will select the dress which you want to place order. So you will place the order, and you will track your shipment and other things. You will track your delivery things, and you will make a payment, and there is an option to cancel also. After cancel, the refund has to be done. So ultimately, it's a online shopping. Under online shopping, you will be doing n number of different activities. Categories are
Mm.
there. So similarly,
Yeah.
I have a package of online shopping. Under that, I have different tasks to do,
Mhm.
like viewing a item and placing an order and all. So that we call it as class, the next level.
Okay.
Okay, package is the big level. Under that, you have a subcategory of class. Again, in the when you want to place an order, so what you will do, you will select the
Add
particular
it to the
item.
cart.
You will,
Mm.
yeah,
And then may go to payment method and then place an order. Those are the
yes,
methods.
yes.
Okay.
And again, in the payment options itself, I will take again, that also has so many steps. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have to do some payment means, you will select what type of payment you are doing, whether it is a net banking one or debit card based or credit card based, be selecting it. and that OTP or CVV information, you will be entering it. That if you're going with a debit card means you'll be entering all those details. Then you will apply some discount coupons. If you have any coupons, you will apply it, and if it is valid, it will accept, and if it doesn't valid, it will say that it's expired. So there are so many steps. It says that payment you are doing. Under payment, there are so many sub tasks you are doing. Okay, in the payment screen itself, that we call it as methods. Okay, methods are nothing but functions. It's a block of a block of code where you will enter some small tasks, like add your debit card details, check the validity of it, CVV. So these are all the small instructions or a block of code where it will make you to complete one functionality, that we call it as methods. Again, if a method is inside a class, we call it as method. If it's outside the class, we call it as functions. Okay. So this is the package, class, and methods. So these are the different categories. Any doubts here?
Nothing, ma'am. I think it's clear.
I didn't tell the technical definition of this for you to understand. I took an example and telling the real-time usage of it. But when you go and check it online, what is class, what is object, the definitions will be different, but they will try to explain the same thing.
Okay, ma'am.
So packages are nothing but, I'll tell you the definition also, the theoretical definition, a group of similar classes or interfaces.
Okay.
So that is the definition of package. And methods also a block of code, a computer program that is intended to complete a task. So that is the definition of methods. Okay. So coming back to our code, there are some standard ways you have to follow. I told you keywords, right? So if you look at this, all the keywords will be in different colors. Color coding will be different to make you understand that it is a keyword and you are not supposed to change it, or you are not supposed to use it as part of your development. So package is one of the keyword. So it will start with com, okay, and ends with a delimiter. As you have seen C program and all, semicolon is a delimiter. So it will help the machine to understand that it is end of my statement. Similarly for package, it should end with semicolon. Next thing is, this is the definition of a class. So again, I will cover this. For now, I'm saying public. Okay, public is nothing but access modifier. Like, who can access this? It will tell. If I say that different types are available, that I will cover later. Today, I will explain what is public. Say, for example, the main method, the main class should be public so that anyone can access it. You have a supermarket, it should be public so that anyone, Sagan, can go and purchase something, or the employee too can go and purchase something. There is no restriction for you to go to the biscuit section to get a biscuit, come back, pay, and come out. So it's publicly accessible. Like, they are not restricting you to do like getting the biscuit and paying money. But will they allow Sagan into the billing cashier area?
No.
So it is restricted. In that cases, they will either go with a product or private. So I will tell you in details when we come across the access modifier. For now, you can keep it in mind. The public means it's one of the access modifier. It will tell who can access it. Based upon whether it is public or private, there are some limitation in accessing the particular method or a class. This access modifier will be used in a method also and in the class names also. Okay. And next is class. This is again the keyword. So we are using class and main. So by default, it has created me with the main class. It's not intended that I can create my own class name. By NTJ, I told that create the sample, so it has created with main, but you itself can create your own. You can set your main class. Okay. And next thing is, this is the method. Again, For package, semicolon is a delimiter. For class, open braces.
Open the bracket, open the braces, and again inside that
Close.
methods.
And you should be careful if you are using any editor, it will tell something is not closed properly. It will throw you
Okay.
error. You can see here.
Yeah.
Okay. If you
That
are
is.
using Notepad++, that is a traditional Notepad or Notepad++ for your editing purpose, then you should
Mm,
be careful on that.
okay.
Okay. Now it doesn't show me. So again,
Mm,
these terms and all I'll be explaining in detail, but now I'll touch upon. Uh, so again, this is public, means
mm,
accessible, publicly accessible. Static, it's a big concept I'll be explaining. For now, you keep it like there should be a default method in any in a class. Okay, that is this. You can even
okay.
memorize this format. Okay,
Yeah.
in a class, in the
Mm,
main class,
mm,
you will see this for sure.
yeah.
Each and
Okay.
every tag, what it does, what is argument and all, I will tell you. But for a
Mm,
main class, you should have this. So I
okay.
have a main class created, and that is static, and return type is void. So again, return
Okay.
type I will touch upon
The,
the. So it's like after executing. So I told right, this is a method, and this
mm,
method is intended to do
mm,
some functionality. Say for
okay.
example, I give you one lab work of calculator like arithmetic calculation, addition of two numbers. So for that, what you have done is you have created one method. So what you will
Okay.
do, addition of two numbers means you have to give two numbers. Like 3
Mm,
plus 5 is the task provided to you, means you will pass 3 and 5 to the method as a input. And after doing that arithmetic operation of 3 plus 5, it will return me the output of 8. So that we call it as a return. And
okay.
here the return type is integer because it's returning an integer value to me.
Yeah.
But in this case, if it is void means
There
return
is
type
no
is
return type.
nothing. Yes.
Okay.
So that is a return type. There are so many return types available. I will cover whenever we do program. I will be covering one after the other. So void
Okay.
means, as the name suggested, it's a void one. Okay.
Okay.
And final thing is, it's a simple hello world, right? So it's a print
Yeah.
statement. In C, you
Mm-hmm.
would have used printf and other things, right?
Yeah.
Similarly here, system.out.println is the print statement we use. Uh,
Okay.
so I'll be running for just for today. I'll be running this. In next class, I'll be telling what is the system will do, what is this out and println and all. So
Okay.
I'm executing. So there are two ways to execute. One is to run, and another is to debug mode, run mode and debug mode. So today I'll be doing in the run mode. So
Okay.
when I run it, it will execute. Previously, it has a main.java file alone.
Mm,
Once it is compiled, then it will create main.class file also.
okay.
Okay.
Mm,
So here it is printed.
okay.
So if I do anything here, so I'm saving it. So run again. From here also you
Mm.
can run it. Here also you can run it, and shortcut keys also there. So you can run with the shortcut keys also.
What is the shortcut key for running, ma'am?
Control R.
Okay.
It will vary from your editor to editor again.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we have executed, it's building now. So compilation and execution, two things are there. So it has compiled it and now it's executing.
Mm, okay.
Can you see?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So here you will be seeing my path of my JDK where it is installed, and the version of that intelligent other thing. But this is the program which I'm intended to do.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yes,
there
ma'am.
are some other parts also there as part of anatomy or the skeleton of the Java program. We'll be
Mm,
covering it in the next class, Rahan.
okay.
We'll be ending our session today. If you have
Mm,
any doubt, you can ask me.
okay, ma'am. So this class is gonna be for like 40 days, right? Like every day?
Yes, I'll discuss with the other student also. We didn't join today, Sahan.
Okay. Uh,
He asking him whether he's okay with the weekends and other things also. So
okay,
uh,
okay.
discuss that too. What's your preference?
Now I'm having my summer break, ma'am. I'm fine with having every day, even weekends.